Carolina Central. Now, one of the advantages that North Carolina Central has offensively, they got 8 of those starters back. True freshman quarterback, threw for over 2,000 yards, 12 touchdowns and 9 interceptions as a true freshman back in 2019. Isaiah Titan is one of the best running backs in the conference. There's some continuity there on that offense. I think as long as this thing is sloppy, it benefits them. But I think as Alcorn gets in sync, Felix Harper, LaCharles Pringle, Nico Duffy, and the likes, I think that offense is going to present some problems for North Carolina Central.
I agree. And what you got to remember, though, Alcorn, for as many points as they've traditionally put up, they've also given up a lot of points. It seems like they were scoring 40, 45 points a game, but they was also giving up 30 points a game, which gives Central a puncher's chance.
I think for Central, I think there's 3 things that Central needs to do to win this football game. Number one, Felix Harper, if he's going to beat you, he's going to have to beat you arm only. You cannot let him use his legs. One of the things that makes Felix Harper dangerous, those 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 opportunities, if there's no one there, he will use his feet, and he'll move the chains. Alcorn can't run the ball. That defensive front from Central, you're going to have to stop Nico Duffy and that group of running backs that Alcorn has. And Central can't turn the ball over. Can't turn the ball over, can't have stupid mistakes. If they do those 3 things, they got a legitimate shot on Saturday. Now, I ran a poll. I don't know if you saw it over on Twitter. We were kind of getting everybody's prediction on the game, who had it. And I think Alcorn was just up 82%. It was like 82%. So Alcorn is an overwhelming favorite. And if you're Alcorn, you want to come out and be impressive in this football game. Alcorn predicted to finish first in the West. You make the move from the SIAC East, which you've won 6 years in a row. You're going over to the Western Division. You want to make a statement in this football game. And the statement would be to come out and handle Central pretty easily. If you struggle, people will discredit Central and put a lot of questions on Alcorn. How you feel about that, AD Drew?
I feel you're right. And people in the BIAC are looking for someone to challenge South Carolina State. Right now, the conference is South Carolina State's to lose. Norfolk got a lot of players back, but they've got a new coach. Quarterback questions. Central has a good defense coming back. No one expects anything out of Howard or Delaware State. Morgan State is the X factor in that conference. So if Central is going to challenge South Carolina State, getting off to a good start in this game, win or lose, is going to be the difference.
So I think over in the MEAC, I know South Carolina State was predicted to win it. And what I saw from South Carolina State this spring worries me a little bit. I watched them get routed by Alabama A&M. I watched them get into a knockdown drag out with Delaware State twice. I watched them, but we also watched them upset Alabama State. Right? They have talent on that roster. To me, I would not be shocked to see, and my prediction to win the MEAC is Norfolk State. They bring back a lot. I think it's 18 starters they bring back. Pootie Carter at quarterback, first team all MEAC. You bring back your running back. The all-conference players that they have on that offense and defensive side of football, both sides. Dawson Odoms makes the move from Southern University, goes to Norfolk State. He's one of the better coaches in HBCU football. His record speaks for itself. I think Dawson Odoms instilling the discipline with that football team, because if you look at Norfolk State, a lot of games that they lost because of discipline. Offsides, false starts, pass interference, holding, clipping, things of that nature. Dawson Odoms teams don't make those mistakes. I think when you pair Dawson Odoms with that talented roster, I think Norfolk State might be the team to beat over in the MEAC.
But can you correct those things in an offseason when you have the same players?
Yes.
So they're not like Jackson State, who went and cleaned house. They pretty much got the same players there in Norfolk. So can you do that since what? April, May when he took the job? It's not like you've had a normal off season where you
yeah.
had spring practice and recruiting cycle and everything else. He took that job in May. Come May, you got almost take what's left over. I'm just
I
saying.
know. I think at the beginning of the season, I think you might see those old mistakes rear their ugly head. Uh, but I think towards mid-season and the end of the season, you're going to see a disciplined football team that didn't make the mistakes that they made early on in the season, and that's going to pay dividends because they got South Carolina State late.
Yeah. And one other thing about the BIAC while we on it, and this is something that me and my partner Brian talk about on our sports rap show. What do you think about the fact that in the BIAC conference, you play 5 conference games? That means you're playing 6 non-conference games. So technically, your schedule is more weighted towards non-conference than conference. Just your feelings on that.
I think one of the things, and we've seen the Big South do this recently. You're seeing some other conferences having to do this. Um, the advantage of this is your schedule can go the way that you want it to go. And for the MEAC teams, you can schedule yourself into the FCS playoffs. That's the biggest advantage. You
And
can
South
schedule
Carolina
your
State
way.
has a schedule to do that.
Yes, you can schedule your way into the FCS playoffs, and if you go out and you're successful as a conference because you have 6 opportunities, you're helping your conference's strength and the perception of your conference. Remember, everybody had all the jokes and all the smoke for the MEAC when it was announced that FAMU, Bethune-Cookman was leaving and North Carolina A&T was leaving. Everybody had all the jokes. The MEAC can right the ship if they go out and they handle business in these non-conference games. If you could go 500 or better in these non-conference games, and I'm looking at the schedule, and ain't a lot of Virginia Lynchburg in there. It ain't a lot of Edward Waters in there. You get some Robert Morrises. You get some Richmonds. You get some you get a couple of football teams. So they have an opportunity to change the perception that we have on the MEAC right now. And I'm gonna be honest, the perception that they have of what's left, it ain't great. But the good thing about it is they can play themselves out of it, depending on how they play the non-conference.
Okay. I agree, but I don't think any team in the BIAC has a schedule strong enough to get them into the FCS playoffs, assuming South Carolina State is the representative in the Central Bowl.
I don't know. I look at the schedule for Morgan and Norfolk.
So in
They,
second
they
place,
got all.
Morgan, you think could get into the playoffs with their schedule?
If they can pull off if they can pull off
Because remember, we
finishing
talked
second
about a second
place,
place team.
if they can go 8-3 with that schedule and win some games that matter, yeah,
And the one loss being to the champion in the BIAC.
yeah,
So they're getting you
yeah,
2 out of conference.
yeah. You can get one. You can get one.
We shall see.
But it
I
all
personally
depends on
don't
everybody
see
else too. It all depends on everybody else too, and that's the thing that we talk about. Conference wins help you. Non-conference wins help your conference. So, and not only would they have to step out of conference and win, you need for everyone else to go out and compete well. You get that to
it.
happen. I've seen some strange things happen. I've seen some strange things happen.
All right. We gonna see. We gonna see.
All right, man. We're getting ready to take it to the break, man. On the other side, we're gonna talk about, man, inside the HBCU Sports Lounge and what you guys can expect in this next segment moving forward. What is the HBCU Sports Lounge? Kind of what we're gonna do. We're about to go to break, and I'll holler at you on the other side.
Let's get back to strolling instead of scrolling. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision for yourself and for your family.
football bands, and one of the best fan experiences in the country. The Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff returns to Atlanta on August 28th, along with special guest, College Game Day. Then Alcorn State takes on North Carolina Central with conference bragging rights on the line. Center Park Stadium is the place to be on August 28th. Come tailgate all day before enjoying a primetime matchup on the gridiron. You don't want to miss this. Check out MEACSWACChallenge.com for more information.
It's the show where we take you inside the game before the game begins. It's the pregame. With your host, Charles Bishop and Neely. So get ready, because we pregame harder than the other show's party. It's the pregame.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime. Get ready for the Cracker Barrel National Battle of the Bands. Presented by Pepsi Zero Sugar. Sunday, August 29th, 4 o'clock, NRG Stadium in Houston. Featuring the hottest HBCU marching bands. Southern University, Langston University, Tennessee State, Norfolk State, North Carolina A&T State, Texas Southern, Bethune-Cookman, and Jackson State. Don't miss the battle on the field and the stands with scholarships. Over $500,000 in counting for our HBCUs. It's an HBCU experience you don't want to miss. With a weekend of activities with the Cracker Barrel Step and Stroll, Pepsi Zero Sugar Emerging Experience, Esports Masterclass and Gaming Tournament, and the free Pepsi Zero Sugar College and Health Fair. Tickets start at just $15. Get them right now at nationalbattleofthebands.com. It's the Cracker Barrel National Battle of the Bands. Sunday, August 29th, NRG Stadium, Houston. Gates open up at 2:30. Also sponsored by Cricket and HEB. nationalbattleofthebands.com. Get your tickets right now.
Support the Black College Sports Network so we can continue to provide you coverage. Go to myjbn.com/support and be a part of the Black College Sports
Tell everybody
Network.
they can follow their dreams.
And man, we back. Shout out to everybody watching. No matter how you watching, no matter how you do it, wherever you are, how you may be listening or watching. Thank you. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. So in the sports lounge, man, like I said, from here on out, we're going 2 hours. What you can expect, man, breakdowns of the games that we had the week before and the week to be. We're going to have a couple of coaches on. One of the interesting elements about the show, and one of the things, the feedback that you guys gave me is that, man, what about the bands? Can we show the bands some love? Man, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to show the bands some love. So you can expect a couple of interviews from a couple of famous videographers in the HBCU world. You might get a couple of sightings from them. A couple of band directors, man, we're going to have on and kind of just talk about how they feeling about the season. You talk, I listen. Go ahead, band. We're going to have we go show the band some love. And really, man, just breaking down these matchups, man, talking to a couple of coaches, seeing how they feel, man. It's all interactive here, man. We number one for sports and God talk. So when you come into the lounge, man, kick your shoes up, relax, get your favorite beverage, and just have fun, man, and let BJ Jones take you for a ride. Go have fun with it, man, the Sports Lounge. I'm BJ Jones. This is the Black College Sports Network. Hope you guys enjoy the platform. I appreciate everyone that's been watching over the last couple of years over in SWAC Sports Central. Shout out to everybody there. But this is a new platform. So you'll have a couple of sightings from different people around the HBCU world. And this is your show, not mine. If you have any suggestions, man, don't be afraid to hit me up. If you think something that'll work, don't be afraid to hit me up. I'm pretty open and honest, and I try to give the people what they want. Yeah. So let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about the off season that was. We talked about. We'll dive deep into the numbers for the MEAC SWAC Challenge in the next segment. But let's talk about some interesting developments that we've had since the last time I talked to you. Number one, Alabama A&M winning the Southwestern Athletic Conference, the hyphenated spring season. Shout out to Connell Maynard and the Bulldogs. Akil Glass has really stepped his game up, and he's on that Senior Bowl watch list, along with Marquise Bell from Florida A&M, Jermaine Martin from North Carolina A&T, and a few others. Bethune-Cookman, Florida A&M, officially members of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. FAMU will get it started a week from Sunday down in the Orange Blossom Classic against Jackson State. What a way to start your SWAC tenure with Jackson State in the Orange Blossom Classic. Bethune-Cookman is going to go out to UTEP. They get a chance. They don't start the SWAC slate off the rip. But if you look on the schedule on a Thursday night, they're going to welcome in the Bulldogs of Alabama A&M. That's going to be what a way to start off your SWAC tenure. Also, we saw the departure of Dawson Odoms, head coach at Southern University, interim in 2012, won a conference title in 2013, followed that up with a division title in 2014, another division title in 2018 and 2019. Fell a game short in the spring. He decided to take his talents up to the Tidewater area, and he's a new head coach at Norfolk State. So we had that to come about. We had the attrition, to say the least, at Jackson State. You saw that roster turn over and upside down. I really had to go in and look at the roster and see who was who. But Deion Sanders, head coach there, turning that roster over. We'll see what difference that makes in the fall. Respectable record in the spring, 3-3, respectable. We'll see what happens in the fall for Coach Sanders and the Tigers of Jackson State. We've seen some movements. You saw the offensive coordinator at Miles College move on along and take the offensive coordinator role at Bethune-Cookman. And in come a young offensive coordinator from the high school ranks in Alabama, well respected. He did a hell of a job at Hillcrest. He's taking over as the offense coordinator at Miles College. Speaking of Miles College, they're going to start the 2021 season 2 SWAC opponents. 2. Back-to-back. Alabama State, Labor Day Classic, and they're going to take the drive on down to Baton Rouge. Face off against Southern University in the Pete Richardson Classic. Savannah State, Miles College, looks like the favorites over in the SIAC. We're going to talk about that. A lot of interesting developments. We saw the departure of Lynn Thompson, longtime athletic director at Bethune-Cookman. He steps down. A lot of mumbling of what his next role may be. You also saw the announcement and retirement of Commissioner Thomas of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, stepping down after a long tenure as the commissioner of the MEAC. Just some things that we've witnessed since the last time I talked to you guys. The transfer portal is alive and well. NIL, new, alive and well. And how does NIL impact the landscape of HBCU football? Like I said, a lot of things have happened. Let me see if I can get AD Drew back in here for the last 5 minutes of this segment and talk about the most the 5 most impactful um, developments that we had over the summer and how they could possibly impact not only this season, but a couple of programs moving forward.
Well, I'm a small college person. One of the ones that I think is going to ultimately be impactful is Edward Waters. They hired the coach from Virginia State, became Division II. Now, they're the only HBCU Division II in the state of Florida. So now they're going to look into a hot recruiting bid. All those cats from Miami, straight up I-95. Edward Waters University now. So be on the lookout for that one. Something that hasn't happened, but that's going to happen. With Edward Waters and Allen become full members of Division II, what's going to happen in the SIAC? Someone or someones will have to switch west. How is that going to change the balance of power in that Western Division? It's traditionally been Tuskegee's, been Miles for the last 5 years. Kentucky State's gotten in there every now and then. Central State, once upon a time. So how is that going to shift that balance of power? And not only that, it's going to open up some things on the east side also.
Now, I think with the SIAC West, I think that division right now, I think that division belongs to Reginald Ruffin and the Miles College Bears. I like what he's done with that program. Think about where Miles College was prior to Reggie Ruffin, and think about where Miles College is now. And I would be shocked. I don't know how they do it. However they do it, kudos to Miles College. But they've managed to hold on to Reggie Ruffin because a lot of people have solicited his services. And I wouldn't be shocked to see more people solicit his services at the end of the season.
All right, here's the question of the day. Labor Day Classic, Montgomery, Alabama.
Already know what you're about to say.
Is Reginald Ruffin auditioning?
Yes. I ain't got to think about it. Yes. It's a job interview. Yes.
And for those of you all who don't know what we're talking about, because down here in Ely, some rumblings are going on around Alabama State. You just talked about success Coach Ruffin has had at Miles and then previously at Tuskegee before he went to Miles. It would be a natural fit. No disrespect to Coach Ely.
Coach Ely, one of my favorite guys, but we got to be honest. If you're an Alabama State fan, you're looking at the win-loss record in the last couple of years, and nothing puts more pressure on the coach at Alabama State than when Alabama A&M was having success. Alabama A&M just won a title. That's success. When your rival is having success, you can't stew in mediocrity.
Right.
Moves have to be made. Now, I heard a lot of Tuskegee people saying, can we lure Reggie Ruffin back to Tuskegee?
That's another. That's in there. Slater's up there in age. He's in his mid-60s. How many more years does he have on the sideline as he does the dual role of football coach and athletic director? And think about it. It's not too many of those around anymore. Back when you played, everybody was head coach, athletic director. Now, these universities don't mind paying two separate people for that job.
Yeah. And Reggie Ruffin is also the athletic director at Miles, too.
Exactly. How long will Slater continue to do it? And how long will Ruffin continue to have success doing both? Because it's tough to be a good athletic director and a good coach. And he's managed as an athletic director to build those other programs up at Miles also.
Oh yeah,
So,
absolutely.
You know, does he really want to continue as a coach? He may want to go straight administration. You never know.
Yeah.
So another one to throw out there. You played on the other side of the rivalry, Grambling. If Broderick Fobbs has another year like this spring, what will become of Broderick Fobbs?
He's gone. And I can say this: Grambling doesn't tolerate losing. All right, you got a new athletic director up there, Travion Scott. Shout out Travion, congratulations. It's hard to see Travion in black and gold. But yeah, then Travion Scott, new athletic director at Grambling. One of the things that you see in collegiate athletics, new athletic director comes in. One of the hires that they like to make is a football coach.
Yeah,
all right?
They want to bring their own guy.
And they want to bring their own guy. Roger Fobbs ain't a Travion Scott guy. All right? Yeah. Roger Fobbs is a Grambling guy. Played up under Eddie Robinson. He is Grambling through and through. But he said he wanted everyone to forget the spring season, that 0-5, 0-6, wherever they went. He wants everybody to forget that. Grambling people will do that. They ain't going to forget the fall. They ain't going to forget the fall.
Right.
So if you have another season like the spring, it's a wrap.
And staying on that side, Alcorn. Now, success on the field. The problems are upstairs at Alcorn. How long can you continue to have these heads butting each other without somebody going?
I think that recently one of the things that you have at Alcorn is you have a former player who's now your head coach. And we know what the McNairs mean to Alcorn State. Steve. You got two McNairs on the team right now. Tim and Fred Alcorn. The McNair family have pretty much dedicated themselves to Alcorn State University. That dedication is being tested right now. Make no mistakes about it. That dedication is being tested right now. And I don't know how long AD and head coach can coexist with each other.
And then
I don't know how long. Yeah.
Because, like you say, this is not just any coach. This is not just any family.
It's Alcorn
arguably the first family of the reservation.
Yes.
So, which way will an alumni push in this battle?
Oh, the alumni is going to go McNair all day. The problem is that the athletic director is politically connected. And oftentimes politics wins in these bouts. He is politically connected, went to Ole Miss, played basketball. You know, he's politically connected. You know, sometimes the people don't always get what they want. The politics wins at the end of the day. But it's only so long you can have this dysfunctional relationship before you ultimately have to have that divorce.
And you talk about politics versus the alumni. It's all going to come down to one thing, BJ. Whose checkbooks are bigger? Are those political corporate people giving more money to Alcorn? Or is the alumni handling everything? That's who's going to win that battle ultimately.
Yeah, ultimately. And I say, hey man, we'll go dive into Alcorn on the other side. We're gonna take it to break. We got about 10 more minutes. We'll see you guys on the other side. We're gonna finish strong, man. It's the fourth quarter, man. Hold your fours up. We'll go hard. We're going to go hard into this North Carolina Central. Alcorn State. We'll get into the line. And if you're a betting guy, where should you put your money? Don't listen to me because I don't bet. All right. And if you lose, I ain't got no couch for you to stay on. You got me? You feel me? So we'll be right back on the other side, man. Y'all stay tuned. Man, keep it locked and we'll be right back with the Sports Lounge.
Follow the Black College Sports Network on social media at MyBCSN1, the number 1, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at MyBCSN1.
Alabama State to face Howard. It'll be interesting to see how the fan mix works. You know, how Howard's fan base responds, because has Howard been in a SWAC MEAC challenge? So I thought it was initially kind of good to introduce the Northeast part of the MEAC to the SWAC. Yeah, Howard claims to have a homecoming. They claim to have kind of a tailgate. I want to see what that looks like. Can they travel to Atlanta? I just want to say, I haven't seen much of a Howard. I've been to a Howard homecoming. I've been to Howard tailgate. I'm sorry, Howard fans. Let me repeat. It's nothing to brag on. All right. It is a one-day Aspire or BET video. That is it. So good. But good for you. But I think that event, you need to bring a little bit more to the fire. So,
man, all them Howard fans out there, they got beat up when they dealing with the HU. Mike was like, not so fast with the homecoming.
Hey, all that SWAC arrogance just came out in that one statement.
Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern for Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Course, lecture, dismissed.
Texas Southern takes on Prairie View A&M for the Nick Durley Traveling Trophy and the Labor Day Classic on September 4th. Tickets available online at tsusports.com/LBC tickets.
Your ad could be ran here. myjbn.com/support. myjbn.com/support for more information.
The HBCU football experience is back in Atlanta on August 28th. College Game Day, the Coca-Cola fan experience, the Battle of the Bands, the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge will have it all. Visit MEACSWACChallenge.com for more information.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
And we are back, man. We're about to finish this thing off. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Appreciate your support. Like I said, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. So we got
BJ, I got a couple comments. If you got a minute, want me to read them off for you?
Let's do it.
All right. Checking in on the Black College Sports Network page. What's good? I like the intro song. That's from Daryl McNeil.
Appreciate that, Daryl.
Kendrick Hyson says, this is dope. Derek Banks says, good evening. Lizella Phillips says, what up?
What's up, Zoe?
Montre Bennett says, good evening. Chad Jones says, 600 days off is a long time.
It is.
Yeah. Willie Alex Hines says, good evening. Derek Quall says, that hire works for me. I think he may be talking about that Ruffin hire that we was talking about. William Graves wants to start some craps, says, back there to Grambling. Chad Jones says, hell no. William Graves says, Fobbs is on the clock. Joseph Carver says, good show. So you got a lot of positive comments out there, BJ. And then over on the Facebook side, you know, about to talk about the bet. Ruben Hogan says, well, I bet and take the under. That's what Ruben has to say.
What's the over-under on that one?
Well, there's no official line in Vegas that I have found yet, but I have found a couple other sites that you can't bet on. Alcorn is a 6.5-point favorite over Central, and the
I'm
over
taking the
under
points.
is 54.5.
Yeah, I'm taking the points. I will probably go with the under, but I'm taking the points. I like Alcorn by 13 plus.
Woo!
Yeah, I like Alcorn by 13 plus. I don't see Central covering that 6. Mm-mm. I don't see it.
You know something? For good podcasts or TV, I should take the opposite opinion, but I can't. I don't see
Oh no, that
13.
is.
I don't see 13, but I do see a two score. It's going to be about a 9, maybe 10-point game.
I think it's going to be 13 plus. The score that I gave, I'm teetering Alcorn somewhere 31, 34, 13. I
I don't
think
think
it's going to
anything's
be
going to score
13
30
plus.
points, honestly.
I think
I don't think
Alcorn's going to score 30. If you look
I
at what
don't.
Alcorn got coming back, now my only question about Alcorn is the offensive line because they replace a lot up there. They replace a lot, and like I said, it ain't like you could 7-on-7 offensive line. Offensive lines historically are bad to start off the season, and they get better because they start learning each other.
Now, you know
But
what this means, BJ. We're going to see a score like the Celebration Bowl 2 years ago.
Oh man, basketball on grass. Yeah, basketball on grass. Man, I think that offensive line, as they come together, because I mean, Alcorn got everything else. Felix Harper is a bad boy. He's coming back home to Atlanta. I think he's going to put on the show. Charles Pringle is one of the best receivers that you don't know nothing about. Charles Pringle is a bad man. All right. I like him. Offensively, Nico Duffy is better. He's better in the pass game now as far as blocking. I think that Alcorn may be able to put up some points against North Carolina Central.
Yeah. But Alcorn comes into this game with a chip on their shoulder.
Yes.
Alcorn did not lose their title on the field.
They did not.
Because they chose not to play.
Mm-hmm.
Felix Harper did not lose his Player of the Year on the field. He lost it because his team chose not to play. Alcorn can't even defend their division championship because they moved them to a new division. So they've got a big chip on their shoulder. Let's hope they don't come in too hyped up trying to prove everybody wrong. And they just come in and play that game.
I think the young man that people may be sleeping on in this football game is Isaiah Totten. He seems like he's been in North Carolina Central forever. He's been the starter at running back since his true freshman year. He has over 2,000 yards rushing in his career. I think he's 6th or 7th all time in North Carolina Central history. Running the football, he's back, he's healthy. If he can have a big game and take some pressure off the young quarterback, and they can control the clock, now we cook it with some grease and we talk about a horse of a different color. But that's a big if.
That's a big if.
Because Alcorn is usually stout defensive.
That's the only way Central is going to win this game is to shorten the game with the run. They're going to have to get a turnover. If they don't get a pick six or a fumble six, they're going to have to turn Alcorn over deep in their own territory where they've got a short field. And the difference in this game is going to be special teams. We don't know what either one of these teams have right now, but it's going to come down to the special teams. And this is the boring part of football. Watch the punters. Whose kicker can pin the ball when they're trading field position?
Yeah,
that's going to be something key in the game. Does the ball
especially
go out of bounds on the 5, or
yeah,
does it roll into the end zone? Just little things to look
And I
out
think
for.
what you said was key, especially in a sloppy football game when you're going to have to depend on the punters. Which special teams is best, and who can prevent the big return, and that's also going to be key. Alcorn loses the had a back Javian Morrison, who was a bad man in the return game. He ain't back there anymore. Uh, but what they do have, I think 16 maybe back there returning punts. He's nice. We'll see what happens there. My prediction: Alcorn wins it, and I think it's going to be by 13 plus. That's my prediction. If Alcorn can win this one and make a statement, I think they'll give them a little bit momentum going into week 2. Alcorn, the game I'm looking for them is going to be week 3 going to South Alabama because I think they have an opportunity to get an FBS win.
Well, the SWAC definitely need once.
Yeah,
because the SWAC needs an FCS win, and FBS wins look good also. Because the SWAC has not done good when they face
in the non-conference,
non-HBCU competition.
Right. And you have to change that. One thing that the SWAC is getting, if you looked at the conference ratings, the SWAC is usually around that 12-13 mark. The SWAC starting off at number 7 ahead of us of some other conferences. Now to maintain that, you got to win in the non-conference. And Southern has an opportunity against McNeese State. Alcorn has an opportunity against Northwestern State. FAMU got South Florida on the schedule, down South Florida program. Texas Southern and Prairie View has some opportunities to get a couple of games. Arkansas Pine Bluff got Central Arkansas. We're going to see if the SWAC can step out of conference and win some of these games to kind of keep that respect for the conference.
Now, do you think FAMU and Bethune coming over helped that rating? Because as members of the BIAC, they had good success stepping outside of HBCU football playing. Do you think that may have helped?
Absolutely.
With that rating?
Absolutely. No ands, ifs, and buts about it. The SWAC just didn't add. It was the right ad. And where FAMU is now, up under head coach Willie Simmons, he has that program going in the right direction. Bethune-Cookman, if you look at the success that they've had over the last decade, they were one of the better programs in the MEAC. Now, the question for Bethune-Cookman is, Bethune-Cookman, their problem is they'll beat somebody that they're not supposed to beat, and then they'll turn around and they'll lose somebody they're not supposed to lose to. But they always find a way to get FAMU at the end for the last 9 years. For the last 9 years. You were reading the comments earlier. One of the things that's going to be added to the show, the call-in feature. Your calls coming in, talking directly to me and AD Drew. Your calls, you guys are going to like that. So be on the lookout. Like I said, man, as we get this thing, the ball rolling, you're going to see more and more features. Make sure that you download the BCSN app. Go ahead and like my show. AD Drew, you tell them how to do that.
There. Let me help you out with the plugs because I know you're new to the network.
There you go.
First of all, that app that he's talking about is available on Google Play and the Apple App Store. Search My JBN or My BCSN. Download it, sign up. You can follow your favorite shows on that app. Anytime that we have a new show go out, you will get a ding on your phone. If you want that ding to come to you in other ways, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all social media. On YouTube, we are at My JBN and the number 1. That's My JBN and the number 1. On all other social media, by BCSN and the number 1. Look, I'm supposed to break it down for you, BJ. Tell your people you need to like, subscribe, and share. You know why I'm telling them that, BJ? Because as a network, we can't get the revenue that we need to keep this thing going unless they like, subscribe, and share. I know you want to
Translation.
support this thing.
Translation. Don't you want to see me do good? Don't you
Exactly.
want to see me do good? If you want to support your boy, man, do exactly what he said, man. Make sure that you're logging in, man. Like, man, we need the revenue. You want to see us keep doing this on this platform, keep bringing it to you, man. We got to support the people that support you. So, man, make sure you come in. A couple of you guys have reached out about ads. We get your ads. I'll get you directed to the right people. And we can get the ads going, man, and make sure that we're going to get your business supported as well. So, man, all of it's coming, man. You do it right here. I told you guys you're going to like the new platform. It's here. Like I said, man, support your boy, man. Let's do it big.
And one other thing. Tomorrow, for those of y'all who like to ride in your car or listen at work, Spotify, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, all of the above. Search the BCSN Pod Zone. It has not only BJ's new show, has my show, the BCSN Sports Rap, Dice at the Round Table, Dr. Caville's Inside the Sports Lab, HBCU Sports Lab, Brave Talk with Charles Evans of the Alcorn State Network, the Pregame Show, Carlos Brown Show. Basically, anything that you see on the Black College Sports Network, you can also listen to it on the BCSN Pod Zone in the audio version. So you've got two ways to do it.
Hey, and before we get out of here, man, there's a couple of people that I wanted to shout out, man. I know it's been a long road to get here. Shout out to Keisha Kelly, who got me started with this almost 5-6 years ago. So shout out to her. Shout out to Carlos Brown, who actually was the first person, to give me a shot to do this regularly. Shout out to Stephen J. Gaither, Tolly Carr, the boys at HBCU Game Day. Thank you for your support. The good doctor, Mike Prince, my big brother, man. He really taught me a lot, kept me up under his wing, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to my boy, man, Corey Watley Jones, man, Southern University. My brother, man, shout out to you, man. You the one told me to dream big and change the platform. So, man, without your forward thinking, man, I wouldn't be here today. So shout out to you. Definitely, man, shout out to my family, my loving wife, Ashley. Appreciate you. And appreciate, man, everyone, tuning in, helping. And shout out to the Petty Crew, Southern University. Love each and every one of you guys, man. We're going to keep pushing forward. And shout out to everyone that's helped pushing me in SWAC Sports Central, giving me that platform over the last 4 or 5 years. I really appreciate you guys. Shout out for Dr. Cavill for believing in me and bringing me along. Also with Roy and AD Drew. So, man, appreciate you guys, man. The best is yet to come. And we out of here, man. I'll holler at y'all next week.